Well, hello, hello, hello. I'm 1 minute late and all messed up. Oh, I'm doing the podcast this week from Port Alberni, BC. I'm at my daughter and her husband's and the two little boys. But I'm having problems with my software, so I'm just going to sort of do it old school, new school. Hey, Len, I see you're there. So I'm going to see how it goes, and hopefully it'll end up being something worthwhile. Okay. Now, that is the intro. That works. That's me and Dave and our cousins Divot and Davy. And what's going to happen, because I can't get this camera working properly on all the scenes, you'll see I'll be a freeze frame for the entire song or poem. So you guys can decide which ones you really think are the funniest or whatever. Anyhow, let's start, I hope, with a song. Excuse me one sec. It's called Don't Look Back, and it was written by the same fella that did Blues Run the Game, and Colin C. Frank, I think, is his name. And he is the one that had a hard upbringing, ended up going overseas, and came back again, and kind of died in obscurity. So it's a little sad. This song, Don't Look Back, was, I think people tend to give Bob Dylan credit for this one, but in fact it was Mr. Colin C. Frank. So I just got to get my act together here. Or Jackson C. Frank. So let's give it a bit of a whirl. Don't look back over your shoulder. Keep your eye on freedom's shore. 'Cause you know the brave men with you also pay the wages of war. You can read all about justice in a million books and more, but there aren't words to bring back Evers, nor pay the price that he stood for. Don't look back over your shoulder. Keep your eye on freedom's shore, 'cause you know the brave men with you also pay the wages of war. Oh, can't you hear the bells of Selma calling out their mournful chimes? Just another death for justice, another sorrow that's yours and mine. So don't look back over your shoulder. Keep your eye on freedom's shore, 'cause you know the brave men with you also pay the wages of war. For there are walls that make a prison. Many names can bring hate. Tear down and write 'em over before you find it's just too late. So don't look back back over your shoulder. Keep your eye on freedom's shore, 'cause you know the brave men with you also pay the wages of war. And there she be. Just gotta sort things out as usual. Come on, David. Get your act together. Back here. Okay, dokie. Now, I have to just pull one thing up that I forgot. As usual, I'll forget something. And so please bear with me. It's the actual lines for the show, so it might be helpful to have. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, I found them. And I'm also check one thing here, so that if you really do want to see my ugly mug, this is the only time you'll be able to see it during these the poems and the stories. There we go. Now I'm going to go to another page, but you won't really know it, and you won't really see it. So that's kind of neat. If I could find the other page. Okay. Hello, hello, one and all. Welcome again to the Pod Couple Podcast Show. Today is the first time for us to broadcast outside of Vancouver. And as I mentioned earlier, we're in Port Alberni with my daughter and her children, my grandchildren. And little guys, young guys, 3 years old and 3 months old. Consequently, there's no one to hold up the fort in the big smoke, aka Vancouver. So when I departed Vancouver, my cousins Davy and Divot, I showed you them on that first clip, had been visiting and were about to leave for home while I was going, but they forgot how to get there and couldn't even remember where there is. What to do? Well, I decided to get enough groceries to last them during my absence. I dropped off the groceries and said they had to go into quarantine until I returned. Davy and Divot piped up in unison saying, "That's what you told us the last time we came to visit." I said, "And on the last visit, you two told me you didn't know how to get home, and that's why you're still here." So that's what's happening in the trip. I don't know what I'm going to expect when I get home, but we'll find out. Okay, this one is, I just want to sing so small I can't read it. There we go. Foreign correspondent. I must commend Brother Dave for his work at the Trump Resort in Florida. Dave has decided to bestow upon himself the lofty position of Chief Foreign Correspondence for David and Dave, Inc. Don't I have a say in this promotion? Apparently not, because according to him, he must stay in the States and can't return to Canada due to Clause 19 of the Canadian COVID Repatriation Act. Presently, Canada has millions of little bubbles inside one massive bubble that is strongest at the 49th parallel. What about the bubbles in the States? Oh, they're popping all over the place, and so are the champagne corks. There never was a mega bubble. over the States. Even if Dave finds a way into the Canadian bubble, he would have to pay an exorbitant re-entry fee. Yesterday, Dave flew up to the border, and like his idol, Super Dave Osborne, I don't know if anyone remembers that from years past, he decided to get shot from a cannon. Using the most massive charge possible, Dave hurtled through the air and hit the bubble. Who could miss something that size? With his spiked helmet head first, and then faced the rejection of the bubble and a lofty projection as he flew all the way to JFK. Now he's crawling around in the Big Apple alongside all the worms. Unfortunately, the foreign correspondence position materialized so quickly that I didn't have time to amend the policy and procedures manual. Consequently, Dave doesn't have an expense budget, so I'll have to wing it and see what happens. There are sufficient funds to keep him out of my hair for some time to come. Don't tell him that. I told him to report to me in a minimum of 1 week intervals. I can't help but think that part of my life is being lived vicariously through my brother Dave, and versa versa. Quick, this one's brotherly love, and I'll do a check-in after this. Mom, I said. She replied, yes, David. I want a brother. Why, she asked. Well, I have 4 sisters and no brother. Can we trade 1 or 2 of my sisters for a brother? I asked. No, we can't do that. Wouldn't you miss them? Forget that question. Why do you want a brother? And this time it was Dad, because Dad was in the picture. So we could play and watch sports, like Friday night fights and hockey night in Canada. And we could practice fighting against each other. I said, why fight, he asked. I don't know, but most of my friends who have brothers fight each other. I said, Dad said, I have 6 brothers. And that amounts to many fights. Did you ever win against one of your older brothers? He said, yes, once in a while. I said, I want an older brother to fight. You probably won't have any brothers unless, of course, we adopt a boy, he said. Could you adopt an older brother for me? I asked. Forget I said that, because it's not going to happen. I suppose you can think of your friends as brothers, said Dad. Yeah, Dad, that might work, I said. For a while, my older sister Paulette was my honorary big brother. We would play, and if it were sports, I would usually win, but she would be saying that I didn't score when I actually had. Where was instant replay in those days? My anger would get the best of me, and she knew exactly which buttons to push. We're a button-pushing family. Maybe she saw me as a 4th sister and was kind enough to share my allowance with me. We did have a lot of fun together, but eventually life got in the way. Throughout childhood, my one ambition was to become taller than my sister Taulette. I ultimately achieved that goal when I was 18 or 19 years old. I think the secret to victory was to do some neck stretching exercises. I only managed to stretch my neck to half the length of hers, but I did come out of it 1 or 2 inches taller. Na-na-na-na-boo-boo. The one game she was good at was tetherball. The one game she was good at. Oh, she's going to give me a hard time over that. Okay, so I'm going to see what's going on here in Facebook land. Oh, there's lots of, wow, what's happening? So is Lynn saying hi, Paulette saying hi. Oh, I'm in trouble. My daughter Jacqueline, hi. Jacqueline Divot. Samantha, hi. Jacqueline Liam says, "Hi, Grandpa." "Hi, Grandpa." "Hello, Liam." "Hello, Liam. I hope you're doing good." Joe Langdon, "What's up?" Jesse Cherry, "Oh, a heart with some headphones on. Precious." Lynn Cunningham, "Roommates." "Oh, I've got, haha, I remember you stretching your necks," says Lynn. One time I'm going to write about roommates in Edmonton. So I'm going to have to get back to where I was if I can. So I'm hoping you guys, well, not really hoping, but wondering if you guys could see me all the way through that, because I was opening other stuff and closing it, those windows and doors and skylights and all that kind of stuff. So what do we got now? Oh, I could try that, but I would have to find, just give me 1 sec again, please. This is not so good as my computer at home. And let's see. If I can find it quick, I can. If not, no, I'll look later. Okay, so I'll scratch that idea for now. Back to yes. I do talk to myself, and I hope you guys like me. Oh, we're at Dreamo. And I really don't think I would do any justice by trying to sing this song without the aid of an earbud in. So I will definitely come back to it later. It's Ozark Mountain Daredevils. And you can see my pose there. That was when I was trying to figure out why all my camera shots on all the different scenes were frozen. And I was a little perplexed. Okay. The Visit. 1973, 16 years old. It was 4:15 p.m. on a weekday, and Dad had just arrived home from work. We were seated at the dinner table talking over a cup of coffee. I can't remember what the conversation was about, but there's a good chance he teased me about something, because teasing was right in Dad's wheelhouse, and he could take it as well as he could dish it out. We heard a car coming up the driveway, so Dad got up and looked out the window, then turned to me and said, "David, it's the police car." I started laughing. "Yeah, right. I'm not falling for this one." He said, "I'm not pulling your leg. The police are here, and I can guarantee they were not looking for me. So could you please get up and meet the officer at the door?" I was starting to get the bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. The anticipated embarrassment was already causing my face to turn red quickly. I said, "They might be here for one of my sisters. What if I hide and you can tell them that I'm not home?" He said, "Come on, get up and face the music." I replied, "I could just sneak out through my bedroom and run like hell." And it was a nice bedroom because it had an outside door to it. Dad said, "Okay, David, the constable is walking up the stairs. And is there anything you want to tell me before he gets here?" I blurted out a weak, "No. But if you are BSing, I'll take your car out and burn first and second gear rubber till the cows come home." Time to put on my big boy sandals. Time to put my big boy sandals on and run the gauntlet of one officer. I think it's possible I could get past him, and after that, it will be clear sailing. I've been trying to think of what I could be getting in trouble for, and I could only think of 3 possibilities. There was a knock on the door, and I got up and answered it. In a squeaky voice, I managed to say, "Hello." He replied, "Hello, I'm Constable Danforth, and I was going to ask for your name, but that's not necessary as we've met before." I could feel Dad's eyes burning right through my head. "Were you at Centennial Park yesterday between 7 and 10 p.m.? "I'm not sure. Why?" I said. He said, "I'm sure you were there." I thought, why does Dad have to be present to witness all of this? I answered, If you say I was there, I'll have to take your word for it." He said, "Were you drinking?" I don't know. But again, I'll have to take your word for it," I said. "You don't know why I'm here, do you?" he asked. "Oh, I have a hunch or two, or maybe 3, I replied. "Well, I'm here to inform you that this was found yesterday evening in the park." And he handed my wallet to me. I took it from him, and what a relief it was. I could now breathe, and the blood was slowly draining from my face. "Thanks. It's a big relief to have it back, and I'm grateful for whoever handed it in," I said. "You're welcome," he said, then turned and walked away. Dad immediately burst out laughing. I said to him, "You could have at least gone to the living room." Once he got the laughter in check, he said, "You were hilarious, and all that squirming, and your flushed face. You seemed very concerned about something. And where had you met the constable?" I said, "I was worried about 3 somethings, and no, I won't tell you what they are. I'm not sure where we met, but it may have been when they were chasing us, and it was dark out. We like to make sure they get enough exercise. It's so easy. All you have to do is run when you see them, and they'll chase you." Dad said, "David, if you weren't giving Constable Danforth some much-needed exercise, you weren't giving Constable Danforth some much-needed exercise last night at Centennial Park, were you?" "Perhaps, but I don't seem to have any recollection of it just now," I said. He asked, "What's this first and second gear rubber about?" I knew he was trying to bait me, so I replied, "I don't have to answer that one. Because you are smart enough not to lie to your son. You might want to get together with a few of your old crony friends and attempt to solve the mystery." Yes, my misspent youth. Where? Oh, you got stuck with me on the thinker. The thinker pose. Let's go. First of all, I want to do a poem. Actually, what I'll do is I'll check in again just to see what's going on. Checking in. Jesse, Jerry, that's how we got our brother Dave. Dick needed a brother, so 5 girls later. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. I love Ozark Mountain Daredevils, says Jesse. Lynn, 3? Question. I'm not exactly sure what that refers to, but yes. Well, okay, Lynn, it was probably 5 or maybe 10 different things. But 3 sounds a little more. I wouldn't want to be boasting about something silly like that or anything even remotely compared to that. Okay. Now I'm going to see if I can yard out a poem here somewhere. Excuse me. Okay. Now you guys will see this, I suppose. And I think that almost looks like the same pose. It's like, oh my God. Anyhow, this is called Vain Refrain. This actually did happen to me, as much as I'd hate to admit it. Walking down the street, looking straight ahead, and with superior peripheral vision, turning my eyes to glance at the reflection on the shop windows. Someone is very close behind me, but I want to ignore this person, hoping that he or she will go away. But half a block later, nothing has changed. So I turn my head towards the windows and try to get a better look whilst navigating the busy sidewalk. I see gray hair, which means that person is most likely not a stalker and must be really hard up to be following me. I can't take it anymore, so I stop beside a window and slowly turn sideways to see a gray-haired stalker who looks just like me and even has the same good taste in glasses. But I feel empathy for him as I notice that he has a somewhat stooped posture, and his hair is much grayer than mine. Walking down the street, looking straight ahead. And that's it. I go. With these things not being quite the way I want them to work out, it's a little frustrating. The big kid. Now, I think most people are, should we say, guilty of that. Still, you know, it's probably not such a bad thing to have that kid in you still. So this is Sylvan Lake water slide in the summer of 1978. My workmates and I were in Red Deer, and we had a day off between jobs, so we decided to go to the Sylvan Lake water slide for a bit of fun. It was a hot day, and there were about 4 slides, and those were some of the first biggest slides in Alberta, actually. And it was the longest and highest one that immediately caught my fancy. Duh. We went up and down many times in an attempt to perfect our techniques. One of the guys said, if you take a couple of quick steps and right into the slide and, jump right into the slide, landing so that only your heels and shoulder blades touch the slide for the entire run, you could get close to warp speed. So, of course, I tried it. And it sure did make me go quicker. The next time I tried it, there was an 8-year-old boy that went before me. After the allotted time between departures, the attendant signaled for me to go. So I jumped in and got into the luge truck and went for it, screaming down the slide and coming to the high bank's second to last corner. Everything was as expected. But when I went into that corner, I saw the little guy, and fortunately my velocity was high enough and there was lots of room between us. I went through the last corner and shot out of the slide's end and saw the boy's mother with terror on her face. She could see the top of the slide and knew that her son should have come out in front of me. That lady looked so relieved when her boy appeared, and he was telling her how cool it was when I went flying by. So she had to deal with that too. Okay. And these two are, how did I write it? Yeah. These two stories are somewhat related. So very first time skiing, I think I was 18, 19. And, it says 1976. That's how, so it's 19. I went skiing for the first time. At that time, there was a parking lot down by the main road for people to leave their cars and hop into buses and journey up a precarious beaten track to the lodge at the top. The road eventually became redundant and void of buses when a huge chairlift was installed. That road remained intact and was used as a ski out that I thoroughly enjoyed. Okay, I don't know if I can't remember if I read the title. So it's Bunny Hill at Sunshine is what it's called. I donned some very unfamiliar gear, as this was my first time skiing. Murray Vassov suggested that I try the Bunny Hill for a while, so he went skiing and I went hippity-hop to the Rabbit Mound. Skiing wasn't as easy as anticipated. Once on the tow bar, I wouldn't go very far before getting my skis crossed or losing my balance, but continued to hold on as I tracked out wide. And when I did that, these poor little kids in front of me and behind me eventually toppled over. The parents were getting annoyed with me, so I walked away, suffering from many bunny bites. Then it was Lookout Ski Hill. I never made it to the top of the Bunny Hill, and thanks to the chairlift, I made it to the top every time, but disembarking wasn't a pretty sight. We skied for 2 or 3 days, and at the end of it all, I'd taken countless spills, and I hurt from head to toe, but I had become somewhat of an alpine skier. Not a very good one. After both water slide and snow skiing experience, I finally concluded that at 20 years old, close enough, I no longer fit in as a kid because I was now wearing a big boy boots. For big kids, that is. So still kind of there, but still kind of not. So we'll go back. That's all I have, I think, for the lines part. So I'm off the hook there. I just got to find some songs and poems. Let's see. Okay, this is Theory of Relativity. Now, I can't see it very well, but I'll give it a try. Along came some children directly related to me who would often play for hours in the family tree. People say they look like mom or maybe dad, or one of their grandmas and perhaps a granddad, or take after cousins, aunts or uncles you can easily see because they're all hanging out in the family tree. They seem mostly happy and seldom sad, as the family tree has come to be their outdoor pad. Listen up, it's supper time, so come on in to wash up and eat. And soon they serenade us with their patter of 10 little feet. Some years later, along came more children related to me, itching to climb up and play in the family tree. Some say they look like mom, or maybe dad, or one of the grandmas, or perhaps a granddad. They seem mostly happy and seldom sad. Having the time of their lives are the wee lassies and lads. I hear the pitter-patter of the children's little feet. Hey, where's Grandpa? This is where we're supposed to meet. He's up in the family tree and won't come down. Looks like he's smiling, but he's upside down. Grandpa, get out quickly. Don't you know, if you stay too long in the family tree, it won't let go, and you'll be up there forever, flapping in the breeze. Grandpa, come down to us, please. I'll be down in a minute, as I'm just looking for a place for my weary posterior to elegantly grace. I look everywhere, and no space can I find. Now totally confused? Wait, perhaps it's a sign. I could bide my time till someone drops out to make room, but this has never happened to a family heirloom. Or ask everyone to squish in like cattle class on a classless plane, but their only first-class seat is in the high-class tree of fame. The message is clear that I must wait for some time to see that the tree has grown enough to accommodate me. Got myself down from the tree so much easier than going up, and before climbing again, I'll see my doc for a thorough checkup. If I'm not back to the house soon, my meal will be cold. Now moving fast, swishing through maple leaves gold. On a downhill slope, I slip and go for a ride, to land on a hard head instrument of a paddle backside. Grandpa, you surely hurt yourself good, but you landed on your head. Knock on wood. Your recollection seems lacking. You don't remember us, as we always walked together to catch the school bus. Don't remember that, but I do know this. I must round up my schoolmates or the bus will miss. Theory of relativity. And I may as well do these other... oh, sorry. Wrong one. Got this. There we go. So 2 poems here. One is Laborious. Mind pregnant with thought, ready to birth. A verse of words created from letters begins to grow slow, too slow for rhyme. The pace quickens as the throes of time, to evolve into phrase for a poem to form, from cranium to pen to ink on paper, thus given life for all to ponder, these words of naught that plant the seed, so others may labor in agony. And Misfit. You gave me the impression I didn't fit. How could you ever be that cold? For you I put my life on hold. I didn't fit. Such nerve had you to be so bold. You really needed me. Then I was twisted, rolled, and folded up. You brutally pressed me in. But I didn't fit the mold. Okay. I'm going to do another check on the Facebook front here. Then the number of ha ha ha, I meant really that many? Tracy, hello. Hi. Hey, just one sec. So I think what's going to happen here is it's going to just take a little bit of time for me to, hopefully not too much, for me to pick up a song here. So please bear with me. Oh, okay. I found one. Okay, so this is Ozark Mountain Daredevils, and it's called Dreamo. Here we go, sorry. I know love makes the world go round, and just a dream-o. And some people say, about pounds ain't gonna change the game. There's much garbage in the sink. Gonna take a lot of Drino. Life's so fast, I'm afraid to blink. And some people live in the chain. But even in the chain, in the rain, you shine all day long. Your heart sings the words to an old love song, and it comes to me on the radio, somewhere deep inside. Sometimes when you turn the key, the gauge only indicates empty, and people that run this world today, they only have half a brain. Some folks drive a pickup truck, some folks drive a Bentley, but sooner or later we'll all wind up in the breakdown lane, even in the rain. In the rain, you shine all day long. Your heart sings the words to an old love song, and it comes to me on a radio, somewhere deep inside. Somewhere deep inside, you lit a fire that's always burning. Somewhere deep inside, you grease the wheel that's always turning. You roll straight to you. You shine all day long. Your heart sings words to an old love song, and it comes to me on the radio, somewhere deep inside. I know love makes the world go round. Life is just a dream. Oh, I can't even read this. This is my little computer. Just hold on a second here. Okay, so that was Ozark Mountain Daredevils. And I'll try this again. No. No. Oh, yeah, no. Sorry. Talking to myself here. Oh, we're kind of at the time, which is probably a good time to dissolve and resolve and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sorry about all the confusion this time, but hey, I didn't lose my cool, and we got her done. So I hope you somewhat enjoyed it. And next week, or sorry, in 2 weeks' time, I should have a what you call it, a theme song for the Couple podcast. So I was going to do it this time, but I left I left my file at home, and it was one that I could just play, play the song, and so I didn't dare try and sing it. Let's see. Lynn and Tracy. Okay. Well, cool. It's a little bit of a short one, actually, but I usually aim for 45 minutes, and I'm usually a little longer, but that's going to do me. And let's see. I better do this the right way. Where are we? So I'm hoping you can see me. I'll have to play all this back later to see if what I thought was happening was happening. So peace out. Love you all. Take care. Bye.